to go big and go homeschool. My name is Maggie. I'm the homeschooling mama of 10, and we're going into our 18th year of homeschooling. If there is one thing that I have consistently loved from day one of homeschooling, it's school supplies. So today I'm going to share with you some of my very favorite supplies that I really feel make a big difference. My husband would say I should call this video How to Become a School Supply Snob. Homeschooling itself has enough challenges that you don't need to be adding in extra irritation because the lead in your pencil's always breaking or your binder fell apart again. Over the years, these are some of the supplies that I have really come to love and am willing to spend more money on. Now, certainly our priorities are going to shift up and down throughout the years of homeschooling. So there's definitely going to be those times when you just need to buy the cheapest pencils or whatnot that you can. But I have really come to believe that whenever the money is available, buying quality supplies is going to save so much frustration in the long run. And I have a collection here of some of my favorite supplies that I have fallen in love with. I may as well start with pencils because 3 of these items that I'm going to show you are pencils. Now, like many homeschoolers, I have been a die-hard Ticonderoga fan for many, many years. And whenever possible, I would stock up on Ticonderogas. I loved them. They were the best quality available. And I noticed over the past 5 years or so that the quality just didn't seem to be the same anymore. And of course, I was not the only one who noticed. And in fact, it became a pretty hot topic on some online homeschooling forums. Anyway, I discovered that due to many reasons, Ticonderoga pencils were just not what they used to be. I would still rather buy Ticonderogas over a generic brand if it's what's available, but I want to share with you a couple of pencils that I did a lot of research before buying because, yes, I am that much of a school supply snob, and I really do believe that they are worth the money. So our first gem are Blackwings. These are American made. That's becoming more important to me with the shipping issues that we're having. I need to know that when I order expensive pencils that they're not going to come from China 4 months after I need them. I love some of the story behind these pencils. You can read that on their website. I ordered these straight from blackwing.co. I don't remember how much they were. I really like them because they have a unique design. The erasers work well and they're replaceable. The lead in these is just never going to break. If you have the kind of child who is consistently dropping their pencil several times during a lesson, you know the frustration of then trying to sharpen that pencil 20 more times and having the lead break. Also, it's just got a really comfortable grip and the paint does not peel in your sharpener. So Blackwings are definitely going to be one of my top picks from now on. Whenever I have some extra money in the budget, I will be getting these. Okay, moving on to quality pencil number 2. These are also very highly rated on websites for pencil snobs. These are Artezas. They have break-resistant cores like the Blackwings, which is really important to me. I don't know if you can tell, but the eraser is kind of a lavender color and the paint is a little darker. I like that because it's easy for me to identify when I need to be reaching for a quality pencil in a box full of lower quality pencils. I also like that the eraser is latex free. I have a child who has a latex sensitivity, so that can make a difference if you're erasing and touching those crumbs a lot. And the lead, like with Blackwings, it's probably graphite. I know I'm going to get some comments, but I don't know. Somewhere on the box it'll tell me. I'm sure it's just graphite. It's really soft, and so it grips the paper well. And when you have children who are writing, and it's hard for them, it just makes a difference that they don't have to press so hard. It's just a more satisfying pencil. They definitely deserve their good reputation along with the Blackwings. Now, I warned you that most of these would be pencils. For those of you who really like mechanical pencils, and generally I don't, but Sometimes you just want a mechanical pencil and you don't want to be messing with a sharpener. This is definitely my favorite. These are Papermates and they have the larger lead. I don't know if you can see that, but it says 1.3. Comes with extra lead, comes with extra erasers. For those of you in large families, you like for your kids to have their own stash of supplies. It can really be great to have the different colors. I have tried over the years to assign each kid their own color so that there's no squabbling over who stole whose pencils. Doesn't always work out, but it's a nice idea. The erasers work really well. The lead is soft and they can handle being dropped a few times without the lead breaking because they are larger than your standard mechanical pencil lead. So those are my top 3 favorite pencils. Okay, moving on in the writing instrument category, we now have erasable pens. Now, when I was growing up, erasable pens were not worth the trouble. Either the ink really skipped a lot, it was just not very good quality ink, or the erasers did not truly erase. These are so helpful with one of my kiddos who struggles to write and he wants to have, a nice looking paper when he's done. So he wants it to be in ink. But this just helps him not freeze up about making mistakes because let me tell you, it writes well. It writes like a gel pen. I'm really not sure what this magical little rubber nub is. It's not exactly an eraser. It leaves no crumbs, but it truly does erase this ink so well. I could talk about pens all day long, just like I talk about pencils. And maybe I will make another video for those of you who really love the school supply snob topic. But this was definitely a top contender. This changed a lot of things for a couple of my children, and I just wanted to mention those for you. Now, if you're buying pencils that have to be sharpened, you have to make sure you're getting a good sharpener. I discovered this Prismacolor Sharpener when I was illustrating my children's book and using watercolor pencils, which were breaking in my standard sharpeners. And so I went to the art supply store. This was highly recommended. I think it was $12, which is a lot for a sharpener, but it lasted for years and years. This is my second one. I've just now had to replace it. It does sharpen different sizes. It holds your shavings. This is another item that I tend to squirrel away in my own private supplies, and I will bring it out if I can supervise its use because I just love it so much. It makes such a difference when you're sharpening pencils all day long to not have them breaking. And this is also the one that you want to use with colored pencils. I would not use any other sharpener with colored pencils. Okay, enough about writing instruments. Another item that I looked for years before I finally found my very favorite is binders. And I know that you all have many of the same complaints I did with standard binders. The rings would tear up your paper because they would become slightly off center and you could never quite get them back to where they were. The corners would break and fall apart and you'd have this flapping cover. They were really bulky. They didn't fit in a backpack well. And my top complaint, well, maybe not my top complaint, also the noise bothered me a lot too. And you know what I'm talking about, the clack every time you open and close those binders is like, it goes straight to my eyeball. So I was thrilled to discover the Mead hybrid Notebinder. These run anywhere from $8 to $12, depending on where you're shopping and the time of year. You can usually find them cheaper during the school supply sale season. And that can be a lot for a binder, but these last forever. I have some of these that I have been using for more than 8 years. And for those of you who know my family and how rough we are on things, especially things that we use every single day, that is practically a miracle. So let me show you about these. First of all, they do come in different colors when I'm assigning, one for each kid. The binding is this really durable cloth that isn't ever going to tear away from the cover. Okay, as you can see, the rings are really flexible and really quiet. They just pop together just like that. They are never ever going to become off center and tear your paper. like I said, I've been using my current binder for about 8 years, and these are still holding strong. They still click every time I need them to, and they've never torn my paper. Now, every note binder I have ever purchased came with many of these clear divider tabs, which helps to offset the cost, I think. I can fold back the cover. You know how frustrating it can be when you have 5 or 6 kids all sharing a table space and they have this huge binder that just takes up all this room and their elbows are bumping into each other's binders. This was the feature that really sold me on this. And with the clear covers, whatever is, important to me that I want to be able to see every time I walk by the desk, I will just pop it in one of these covers, leave it folded back, and every time I walk by, I can be reminded of, what I've got next to my schedule or whatever. I use these just like the kids. They do come with a fair amount of lined paper, and oftentimes they come with graph paper too. It doesn't look like this particular one does. But, that's quite a lot of stuff that you get in your binder. So it's not your typical, $2 or $3 or $4 binder. This is easily in my top 5 must-have school supplies. So obviously I could go on all day about all my favorite supplies, but I just wanted to give you a taste of some of my top favorites that really do make a big difference to eliminate frustration when you're just writing all day with your kiddos. So I want to hear from my fellow school supply snobs. What are some of your favorite finds? Drop it in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, and happy homeschooling.